The Grind, a Minnesota sports podcast.
If you are someone that knows how to create things from an idea to an invention, you need to listen to this idea, because I think I have received the greatest idea that could ever be invented, and we could make this into $1 billion company. Okay, so if you are listening and you know how to create things from ideas, we need to partner up. Because last night I woke up like 4 a.m. in the morning, and it's the classic, I'm too tired to get out of bed, but I'm also too filled with piss to fall asleep again. And then I woke up and I was completely ran over by a dump truck with this idea. And here's the idea. If you have to pee in the middle of the night, but you don't want to get up to pee, there should be a device that you connect to your pee in bed so that you don't actually have to get up. Now, the catch is with this idea, and I'm going to dive into the Vikings and Twins very quickly here. It's got to be soft enough on the inside so that when you pee into it while you're in bed, it doesn't deflect up at you and hit you in the face. So it's got to be some kind of soak it in device, but it also has to be a device that is comfortable, durable, strong, so that pee doesn't seep through. You also got to have a little zip tie or like a zipper on top so that like the piss doesn't like leak out of the container, the stink, the actual liquid. So if you know how to create this kind of thing, if you know how to engineer this idea, I would love to work together, because I think I thought of something. I think we've got something. So if you know how to engineer this stuff, I'm your guy. All right. That's idea number one. Thank you for joining the show today. If this is your first time, wow, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, or follow button if you're listening somewhere else. Today's show, I want to talk about Dallas Turner hopefully becoming a superstar in the NFL very soon. After a rookie season that could have really given us something more, he wasn't really given a big opportunity. He did have an interception, but there was more to be desired. Hopefully, now that he's grounded and ready and more prepared, he can make an impact on year two. Got to talk about him and the scam that he got into, that he got tricked into. Also going to talk about Joe Ryan, Minnesota Twins pitcher, that finally entered the All-Star game via injury, and Minnesota Twins fans can stop blowing their horns, acting offended that he didn't get in anymore, because he's in. So we're going to talk about those two things today. But first, I need to tell you about 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis, because they transformed our bathroom in 48 hours, and they will do the same thing for you. Speaking of inventions and companies, I guarantee you this company will transform your bathroom and make it into the masterpiece of your dreams in 48 hours. That's what they did for us. Before, we had a blue floor and a blue step, a moldy shower, ugly surround, and a tub that was disgusting. And then we hired 5-Star Bath Solutions, and they remodeled all of that. Plus our sink, we went from a one sink single to a double sink double. New countertops, new mirror, new vanity. All in 48 hours. With affordable payment plans, a free consultation, a 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. They will transform your bathroom. and make it into a masterpiece in 48 hours. 5-star bath solutions of Minneapolis. All right, let's dive into this. I hope you're working on this invention already, because we are going to transform the world with our potty in bed company. Invention. Product. All right, Dallas Turner gets scammed. ESPN story. Minnesota Vikings outside linebacker Dallas Turner was allegedly a victim of bank fraud scheme that resulted in the theft of $240,000. Through our investigation, several suspects have been identified, and we are working toward criminal charges to hold them accountable. Eagan, Minnesota Police Sergeant Rich Evans said in a statement to ESPN. Approximately 2,500 of the stolen funds have been returned. Evans said, adding that the investigation remains active. I lost $240,000. Well, at least I got $2,500 back. According to a search warrant affidavit filed in Dakota County District Court this week, Turner and his attorney contacted the Eagan Police Department in April to report the fraud. Per the affidavit, someone impersonating a banker at J.P. Morgan Chase called Turner on February 19th and claimed someone was attempting to impersonate Turner at a Chase Bank branch in Arizona and presented 2 copies of ID to execute a wire transfer, according to the Minnesota Star Tribune, which published details of the document. The caller instructed Turner to transfer money to 2 separate businesses to prevent the attempted theft. Turner then went to 2 Chase Bank branches to transfer $120,000 each to Island Food Truck LLC and CNL LLC. Turner, 22 years old, later realized he may have been a victim of a fraud scam after discussing the matter with a family member, according to the affidavit. Unfortunate situation for Dallas Turner, losing $240,000. Well, he got back $2,500. Woo! Man, I'm sure he's taking a huge sigh of relief now that he's got $2,500 back in his bank account when he lost $240 of it. A couple of things stand out to me in this story. One, scammers are the definition of shoot your shot, because they probably sent the same message or called a zillion number of people to try to pull off this scam. And if it works for one and you don't get caught, that's $240,000 in your bank account. Now, how did they get Turner's number? Is a good question. How did they get Dallas Turner's number? You also look at this from Dallas Turner's perspective, and I've got to be careful because I once was a victim of a scam similar to this. I received an email. This is the old email. This is years ago. This is in 2018, back when scamming was a thing, but it wasn't quite to the degree that it is now. Now you receive text messages from people to be pretending they're the UPS company, saying, "Hey, your package is waiting for you. We just need you to put down your credit card information, and then we will deliver it." Okay, no thanks. 2018, I received an email saying, your Apple account or iTunes account has been hacked, and you need to fill out this paperwork to basically get your money back. Well, I click on the link, and if you click on the link, nothing happens yet. right? I don't think anything happens when you just click the link. But when you start filling it out, that's when it gets you. And I click it, and it goes to Apple. It goes to the Apple website, and I'm like, this is actually legit. Like, that is Apple's symbol. This is Apple's website. Type in your credit card information. There it goes. Get a call in the middle of the night or a text at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Someone in California is attempting to use your credit card. Was this you? Because it does not seem like you're in California right now. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm grateful that the credit card company told me that I should not be using my card in California, that they recognized fraudulent activity on my account, and it got me stopped. So I can't really like blame Turner too much because I was also scammed through email. But I also don't have $240,000 just sitting there. And I think, like, isn't there a little... Turner then went to 2 Chase Bank branches to transfer $120,000 each to Island Food Truck LLC and CNLFL LLC. The caller instructed Turner to transfer money to 2 separate businesses to prevent the... don't you feel a little sketched out by this one? Don't you feel like it went a little bit over your head? And then to apply this to the Vikings situation, do you feel as confident as a coach of the Vikings in Dallas Turner's understanding of the playbook or the details of the game if he's going to fall for a scam this easily? Because I think it's relatable. If you're going to fall for a scam like this, are you also going to fall for a scam of an offensive lineman approaching you and saying, hey, it's on 1. You better jump right away, when it's really they're trying to get you to jump off sides? Because I think these two things can relate a little bit. I mean, if you're going to fall for something this idiotic or ridiculous, are you also going to jump on a silent count? Are you also going to jump when the quarterback tries to get you to jump off sides on a 4th and 2? Automatic first down, 5 yards. It's not an automatic first down, but you understand what I'm saying. 4th and 2, 5-yard penalty. That's a first down. That's an automatic first down. So it's unfortunate that he got scammed. At least he got the $2,500 back, though. But I do think there are situations like this that parallel the smarts on an NFL football field. Why else do you think that players that are entering the NFL at the college combine, at the NFL combine, are asked questions that have nothing to do with football? At the NFL combine, in the interview room, players are asked all kinds of ridiculous questions that have nothing to do with the game. Why? Because they want to know how they're going to handle it. And they see parallels between real life and handling adversity on the football field. So if I'm one of the coaches and I see Dallas Turner fell for a $240,000 scam, I'm scratching my head a little bit and curious to see how he's going to handle adversity on the football field, how he's soaking in the playbook, and how he's reading offenses and reacting to critical situations. I've got scammed too, but it's a little different now. Scamming is next level compared to what it was in 2018. Twins Joe Ryan. And before I talk about Joe Ryan, I need to tell you about Hokeland Farms because they have the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef in Minnesota. Contact Hokeland Farm at 952-491-1541 and get delicious steaks and crock pot meals, beef, and all the goods. I even got some ribs the other day, and it was so good. Hokeland Farms, 952-491-1541. Hokeland Farms, 952-491-1541. Get delicious meat. And here's the deal. You go to the store, $5, $6 a pound. For the steaks, for the beef, for all the goods, it's a low price of like $4.30. You go to the store to try to buy a steak, it's like $7 a pound. Not at Hokeland Farm, $4.30. 100% rotationally grazed, grass-fed beef. No preservatives, no junk, all health. Hokeland Farms, 952-491-1541. All right, Joe Ryan. I saw some Minnesota Twins fanatics pissed off that he wasn't selected for the All-Star game. And he does have stats that are pretty legitimate. 8 wins, 4 losses, which is a 66.7 win percentage. A WAR of a WAR of 3.8, wins above replacement. ERA 2.76, which is a career high. A WHIP of 0.89, walks plus hits per innings pitched. Strikeouts 116. Joe Ryan is set to have a career season in wins, win percentage, ERA, strikeouts. But here's the problem. The Minnesota Twins are on a losing team. They're a losing team. In the AL Central, that the Tigers have an insurmountable lead. When you are on a losing team and you're a good pitcher like Joe Ryan, you often get overlooked. If the Twins were the Tigers and had the AL Central wrapped up by the All-Star break, this would be a different story. And Joe Ryan would be a player that got selected immediately to be in the All-Star game and to represent the Minnesota Twins. He got in now because of an injury, and now he's replacing the player to get injured. But if you're Joe Ryan, it does not feel the same. If you're a player that gets in through injury, the selection, it doesn't feel as significant because a player had to get injured in order for you to get in the game. So I'm sure it feels different. But Joe Ryan and his statistics, they are representative of an all-star. But the Twins and their organization and their win percentage as a whole, 45-47 right now. When they released the all-star players, it was like 43-47. When you got players on the edge, where it's like they could be an all-star, they couldn't be an all-star. When you have players on the edge and you have a losing record, that player is not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Versus if you're a Dodgers or a Tigers and you are one of the best teams in baseball, and then you also have a player that's on the fringe to be an all-star or not, they are going to get the nod because they are a player that's winning games on a winning team. And those players deserve it more anyways. If you are a player that's adding value to a team that's winning, then you should get the nod over a player like Joe Ryan, who is adding wins. He's 8-4, but for a Minnesota Twins team that even if they do make a run at the wild card spot, isn't doing anything of significance this season. So the Twins, Byron Buxton, got selected to go to the All-Star game. And good for him. He's from Georgia. And the fact that he could go back home to Georgia, and it appears that his hand injury isn't significant after getting beamed with a pitch in last night's ball game, to participate in the home run derby, and he's had his best season as a pro. Sure, cool storyline. Go back home. Been the best player on the Twins this year. He deserves it. Give him a nod. But then you got a guy like Joe Ryan, and there's good pitchers all around Major League Baseball. He's a fringe guy. And the Twins' record is meh, hovering around 500. We're going to overlook you for a guy that's got similar statistics on a team that's winning more ball games. So I completely understand it. He's in the All-Star game now, but it feels different. I'm sure he feels rewarded, but not to the degree that he would have if he was selected immediately to be in the All-Star game. Anywho, thank you for joining the show today, and thank you for listening to my stories and banter about Dallas Turner and all the goods. It's good stuff. If you're an inventor, if you can help me with this invention, give me a shout. Comment on this video. Help me out. The piss in the potty. Potty in the bed. Call it that. Potty in the bed. For people that are too tired to get out of bed, but can't fall asleep because their bladder's too full. I think we've got some. Thanks for watching and for listening. Hope you all have a good day.